Welcome to the City Advertising and Promotion Commission Workshop for January the 12th at 5 p.m. Okay, first, I know we haven't seen everybody like James. This is the first time we've kind of been together for the year, so Happy New Year and Happy New Year. We've got new commissioners. So thank you guys for serving and be a part of the commission. And of course, we want to thank, I don't know if Harry or Melissa came tonight now, but we want to thank them for their service to the city and to the commission. Patrick is not available tonight, or is he coming in on Zoom?
He's not available.
Okay, so it's just us. First thing on our agenda for tonight is the...
Roll call,
well, this is not a meeting.
so we don't have to?
Yeah,
Okay.
no,
Right.
we don't need to do roll
Need
call.
a quorum,
for the
yeah.
workshop.
Right.
And so, procedures. Madison, this is something you're working on, so...
Yeah, so you guys know Libby, or for our new people, Libby is our office coordinator, and she's been helping me out with a request for proposal process. So this will be for, for example, a wedding group that might want to come to Eureka Springs. They would come to us and say, this is for these dates, we need X amount of rooms for this time, or maybe an event venue, or even catering. And this is our starting point for our proposal process. So we are in the process of getting a concise list of all lodging and caterers and event venues and wedding venues and chapels and things of that nature. If you'll take a look through that and give me any critiques you guys might have or any advice. Like I said, this is just our starting point. So this is kind of a really basic one. This is mostly for lodging. I think we'll have a whole separate form for weddings, and then we'll have a separate form for caterers or meeting spaces. So this will work out really well for when we start going to, I'm just going to keep with the same theme, wedding expos, right? When we have a booth at a wedding expo, we'll be able to say, here's our contact information, or here's our form on our website. You can fill this out, and then we will send it out to all of the businesses that would be able to apply for this. And we'll give them the contact information after they've decided on the bids. And it just kind of streamlines the process, makes it fair for everybody as much as possible. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know, or any advice for this type of procedure.
Is this a program that you've done before, right? With
Yeah, so I've been on both sides of it. When I worked for Hilton in Tulsa, they used a company called Cvent. Most people used a company called Cvent, where basically Cvent did what we're doing right now. So if I was to have a wedding and I needed hotel rooms in Tulsa, I would go on to Cvent, tell them what I need, fill out a form. Cvent sends it all to the sales staff for all the hotels. So I would bid on those proposals. In Muskogee, Oklahoma, where I was the tourism development manager, I did this as well. So I sent out these RFPs to, it was much smaller scale there. There's only something like 12 to 15 hotels. You know, we're a little bit bigger here, but we just sent it through emails and things like that. So we've done this before. This form's pretty basic, but we'll adjust as we need to, as we kind of work out the kinks.
So this would be people that call our office or come in through the web.
Sure.
Who are requesting information.
Yeah. I'm going on weddings, but it could be for, a car club. You know, if they want to kind of have a host hotel or go through a bid process, you know, it could be for anybody, any kind of group that's coming to town.
Right. How has this been handled before?
we didn't have a process.
We didn't, yeah.
I don't think there wasn't a procedure, I don't think.
Okay.
Not that I found.
It was more just through the website. People would just ask, and then it was just sent out to a list of people that you were either on the list or you weren't.
That's right.
Got it.
Right, so we're going to try and make a pretty concise
Yeah, so-
list of yeah.
What is the whole goal with this? Is this to then distribute it to everyone that pays the CAPC tax, or?
So that's how we're starting our list, is going off of our tax collections. And we've actually been able to get a business license list, right, Scott? Is that what it would be for? We got a business license list through the city, and Libby has been great. She's cross-referenced those, and we found some people that maybe didn't have the tax forms or they're not set up with us, and so it's been a pretty great process for many reasons. But yes, I also think it'll be good for, let's say we go to a wedding expo in Rogers, right? And I tell them, as it stands, all they're doing is doing the research themselves, and they have to reach out to each event venue or each caterer or each lodging option. We're kind of doing that work for them. I think it might be an easier choice for a bride or for whoever to choose us over maybe somewhere in Rogers or Fayetteville to have their wedding. I mean, we're beautiful, and there's many reasons to choose us over them, but we're streamlining the process and making it easier for them. Making it more efficient and fair is what I'm trying to do mostly.
Is there going to be like any discount system or program, or is it just strictly to receive contact and then push it out?
That is my plan.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think there's necessarily a way we could do discounts unless you have some advice for that, but
I was wondering if you had some grand idea.
no, I mean, I really just want it to be efficient and easier
Right.
for those people, and fair is one of my biggest things.
Thank you.
And then sometimes I think people come here, we did a film type thing here, and the people were calling Fayetteville to get rental equipment that was available here just because they didn't know. They weren't aware there were people that could do hair and makeup, so people were being paid a lot of money to drive in. So I think those kind of resources, that's a very good idea.
Yeah, I like this because everyone gets an opportunity. All the restaurants, if it's a catering gig, they all get an invite to bid on it, and then they can obviously bid on it, and it really just comes down to either the price or the ability for them to do it. And it's fair, and I like the fact that the office is initiating that with them and helping them navigate it, right?
That's my plan. I want to help
Right.
be able to make it more efficient for them, easier for them.
Yeah.
We have one of the most beautiful chapels in the world, right? So people will come here and know that's where they're going to go. This isn't necessarily for those people, but someone who says, "Oh, I want to get married in Eureka Springs," or we've never had our convention there, or we've never had whatever it may be. Our group has never traveled there. Well, we're helping them make that decision easier to choose us over maybe other cities, and then it's more of a fair choice for them.
I'm not sure that there actually is a place that lists every hotel and how many available rooms they have, which
We'll have to contact them.
which is a really important thing. Say if we were to do a larger event, then maybe the Best Western could handle. They could use all of our hotels, but people need to make those decisions quickly, and I think that would be a great thing. And how many auditoriums do we have? We have a lot actually for a small town. And what is the seating capacity?
Yep.
Because if you really, I know we want to do more meetings, larger meetings, you could use these spaces as meeting halls and get people around on the trolley or have them walk, which is better for our restaurants and retail. I think that could really play out to be a very, very good thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why this will be great. I mean, for all the reasons I'm talking about, but like you said, there's not really a big list as it stands, not that I've seen or that I have, and in doing this, we're going to create those. It's going to be a lot of work, and it's going to be difficult to track down everybody and just try to make it as fair as possible. But like you said, the Best Western will have X amount of meeting space. This is how many people they can fit at this capacity or whatever it may be. There's just no big list for us to work on right now, so we're making that. It'll take a little bit, but I'm excited to start. And caterers as well, right? We provide this kind of food, and we can do it for this many people. I don't know what it may be, but we're going to try and get that list as...
So what do you guys think about this? Once we get all the paperwork and we're all happy with it, right? Okay, and get the multiple different ones, because this is just one. What if we did this, if we hosted, and I know it's difficult, everybody has a different schedule, but we hosted a few workshops, we did a few breakfast workshops, for local businesses so we could come in and kind of explain this to them and try to get them on board with it. Maybe we did some in the morning and we tried to do a few. I know how hard that is. I know what we're trying to do there. And then, of course, in addition to that, send out emails and say, hey, we want you to be in this program because and you guys know, all of you have businesses and have had businesses. You know how difficult it is. Almost always Saturday morning when we're busy, right, we get a phone call and it's a bride and they're like, hey, we want to do a reception at your place. And we're like, well, you need to call on Tuesday when right? And this is going to help us with that because these people are going to field some of those calls, but we obviously need to be training the restaurants that we're trying to help them. And if they'll understand the program, then we can help them fill their vacancies, because it's different for everybody. Some people can handle 10, some people can handle 100. So I like it. I appreciate the effort to do it. Let's keep, and whatever input you have, please get with Madison and make sure that she has your input so that we can get this to a meeting and we can get it actually implemented. Maybe get some morning workshops, some coffee get-togethers with locals and kind of explain it.
I have one more question. Can you just walk me through the process? So if I'm a bride and I'm contacting, then what are you giving me?
Sure. So
Sorry.
let's say, no, not at all. Let's
Sorry.
say you're a bride. You could either contact us directly and we'd send it to you. I also want there to be a link on our CAPC.biz website.
Okay.
They would submit the form, we would receive it.
Right.
Either way, we receive the form from them.
Right.
That is the first 2 pages.
Okay.
Here. I should have explained that. I'm sorry, guys. The first 2 pages, the event organizer, that's who we're calling it, so in this case, the bride, fills out these first 2 pages. They tell us all of the information they have. We send out this 3rd page. That would go to our list. So let's say they are just looking for their group for a hotel space of 25 rooms on April 3rd, April 4th, and April 5th. After we get that information from the first 2 pages, we would send this form out to all of the lodging options in Eureka Springs. They would then submit this form back to us. We send that over to the event organizer, in this case the bride. She or he or whoever chooses based off of the bids, and then we connect those 2 together. After that, we're out of it, right? So one of the biggest things in the hotel world when I did this for Hilton was that we did not know who that person was. It may be we knew they were a sporting event group, it might be that, but we did not have any contact information because what happens is they are kind of mass emailed a lot. And so it just makes it easier for the bride, right?
Yeah.
So that's how it works. Did I explain it well?
Yes.
Okay.
And look, here's the big benefit for that. Let's say you're a bride. Can you imagine how frustrating it is to call around town on a Saturday or a morning when we're all busy and try to get through, to try to get an answer if a venue's available or not? That is and if they get frustrated, what do? They go to Branson, right? This gives us the ability to try to hold those customers and say, hey, let us help you with this process to a certain point. And then at that point, it's really your responsibility to work with your host or whatever the situation.
I think there's no doubt that this is a great program because this is what we all have really needed as a community. But my only suggestion is send it out to everyone.
Yes.
Send it
That's
out to
what I
everyone.
want.
Because, there's times that, typically I only go up to 60, but I can go up to 80.
Sure.
But it's rare. But if it were me, I would like to see them all.
Sure, yeah.
So I have the opportunity.
I agree for sure. It might be, we had even talked about, and I would like the commission's advice, let's say they had there was a catering RFP that came across for some kind of event, and they wanted Mexican food, right? I think we should just send that out to all of the restaurants, not necessarily the quote-unquote Mexican restaurants or the Italian restaurants or the American, whatever that may be. Just because, who knows if someone...
That may be my specialty.
Right, yeah, right. It might be, we can, I know we typically do burgers, but we can provide Mexican food, So I agree with that as well,
Okay.
for sure.
Thank you.
Are wedding shows going to be the primary generator of inquiries?
In my mind, it's the low-hanging fruit, just because I think it's
Yeah.
the
already
easiest option,
there.
but no, I mean, it could be for anyone who has a group that's coming into town. I mean, it could be a family reunion. It could be, I keep going back to car clubs because I know we have a lot of car clubs, but it could be anything. I just gravitate towards weddings because I think it's a market that could use this a lot. It's would make it easier on the event organizer.
I'm just
whoever it may be.
curious as to how you're going to drive traffic to our site.
Yeah, so that's one of, I think, the hurdles for this. I think one of my solutions is that I'm going to try to keep going to tourism conventions and things like that, and just to get the word out there to people, put it on our website, put it on our, I think the form would be on the CAPC.biz website, but I think we should put it on our EurekaSprings.org website. There's a lot more traffic to that one. You know, even maybe a link on our Facebook page. But I'm open to any advice that anybody would have for
Definitely
that.
on the website could be a nice link there that says, hey, are you looking for a venue? Are you looking for catering, right? Click on it, boom, it sends you straight to it. And that would be a good source for that.
Yeah, it
so.
could simply be a banner
Yeah,
that you could change.
Yeah.
Family reunion,
Perfect.
weddings,
you're right.
Okay.
you could change it, yeah.
Anything else or questions on that? If not, let's move on so we can save time here. And then, of course, we've talked about a grant program before. I've turned this over to Madison for her to vet it and look at it, and she's going to do a presentation for us on the grant program.
Yeah, this is pretty preliminary as well. I don't know if Nick and Autumn are familiar with our marketing funding support program we have currently. So as it stands, if an event is in Eureka Springs, they can fill out a form for marketing funding support. That is used for advertising and promotion. It is reimbursed or invoiced to us. They have to fill the form out. I go over it with them. They present it to the commission, and the commission approves it. This is similar. It can also fall under the guidelines of advertising or promotion for an event, but I also think it could be used for things like lodging or catering or event rental space. Again, preliminary, I would like your advice on any wordage changes or things like that. I think this is another way to keep business in Eureka Springs, right? So this is another thing that I did in Muskogee. We had a grant program, and my goal was for example, I would research organizations that held their annual conventions or conferences or what have you in Tulsa or in Broken Arrow or whatever, one of the bigger cities. And I would reach out to them and I would say, I know you have an annual convention. Just so you know, here's all these reasons why Muskogee's great for you. Here's another reason why it's great, because we'll offer you X amount of dollars, and it can be used for these things, and you can have your event here, and we'll help you with your catering or whatever it may be. And so many people decided on us over the bigger cities. It's a really great way to drive traffic to us. It would be similar with our marketing funding support. They would fill out the form. We would talk to them about it. We would have the commission vote on it and approve.
Right now, I know people can ask for up to $5,000
For marketing
Marketing
funding.
for marketing
Yes.
support. So we're going to keep that same parameter as the most we'll give them, or how are we going to do?
I was going to ask you guys what you thought about that. Monetarily, what do you think the threshold is? Do you think, in my opinion, I think this takes place of marketing funding support in our budget line, because they could use it for advertising and promotion, right? I mean, they could just also use it for lodging or catering or whatever. I don't know if it should stay at 5. I mean, is there any advice you guys have on that? Should it stay at 5? Should it be more of a percentage based off of their entire budget?
Well, I know one of the big things about our current program is, do they bring people into town
Yeah.
to stay overnight?
Right.
You know,
That is a
so
big-
money directly to the lodgers or the marketers or the restaurants, bars and restaurants. So if we can continue that I love the idea that we could lure people away from
That's right.
places that are frankly not nearly as cool as Eureka.
Exactly.
And this might be the carrot to get them here the first time. Once
Yep.
they're here, they'll come back.
They'll keep coming, right?
Yeah.
Because they'll fall in love with our town like everybody does whenever they come in here.
Right.
But it's an incentive for them to switch from Fayetteville or Little Rock or even Tulsa or whoever and come do it
Hot
here.
Springs is the big one.
Hot Springs.
Because they view them similarly. They really aren't that similar, but we're frankly much easier to get to. And I think we offer, I think we offer more charm and a lot more
Yeah.
things to do, so.
So I would like any advice you guys have on,
Right now, a lot of people are away from big cities and wanting to go to smaller
you are
places.
exactly
Exactly.
So it's a time to kind of strike on that one while the iron's hot. People are like appreciating the small towns and sitting back and look at the historic and appreciate the beauty of it.
You're exactly right.
It's so romantic too, it's always been a romantic town,
And they fall in love with it, right? I mean, that's what we all did. We came and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to come back, or I'm going to bring my family back here. That's what I did.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's good. It's a good.
Well, and I think in looking at the meeting business, the big companies, Walmart, Tyson, I know for a fact people like to leave the city
Yeah.
where their office is. I did when I was working. And, we're very close, and I think we could pick up a lot of that business because they kind of habitually go back to the same big hotel and eat the, rubber chicken that they serve them. And I think, this would be really great because that's a market we've really never tapped into, and it's huge. And people like to come here because if they get a call to go back to the office, they can usually put it off a day. So they can, actually have a real day to focus on business or pleasure or both.
I might suggest you run this by the municipal league.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
To see about us paying lodging, catering, the venue rentals. I mean, we've got.
Yeah, this needs to be vetted fully
Yeah.
by city's attorney, so we can get that done.
Yeah.
Well, I would prefer to go to the municipal league than the
Okay.
city attorney because he does not have any
Yeah.
expertise regarding stuff like this. And the municipal league is versed in all of the Arkansas laws in particular.
Perfect.
And their big concern is going to be alcohol, because that's one of their
Well-
things, so.
Yeah.
And how we spend our money, and I'm not well-versed in that enough to talk
Yep.
to you about, paying lodging costs and
We can
food
get that done.
costs and stuff like that. But
That's a good idea.
For sure.
This is great. Like you said, this is a carrot, right? This is how we get more people to come in, use the auditorium. Those of you who've been before know that I used the auditorium in Harrison for a project that I did, and I received a $1,500 grant. And look, it made all the difference in my program. I was able to take that $1,500 and use it to spend on the venue, which we needed. And it was a great way to get us in there, and we had a great event and a great time. So this is a good way for us to get new promoters, new events, new people into town, new expos, new groups, whatever it is. This program, along with the referral program, right? You start putting this together, and we're really starting to really help people come to town to do new things. So
And I think it
great job.
could bring us into more all year round. We can incentivize the groups during
Well, yeah,
February, first 2
Great
weeks of
point.
February. It's still pretty much
because
till we
we
get
can.
Valentine's Day, so it's
we
like, why
can-
not have big things,
Yeah, we can give priority to programs, to people who want to come in our off-season. So this
Right.
gives us the ability to say, hey, we're really looking for somebody to come in December or January, and if you are, you get priority.
Oh, great, I like
Yeah, so
Bigger
that's why
incentive
this
when we're
carrot
not
gets
tapped out
real
already.
important real fast.
Well,
So,
you might
great job.
set it up too to midweek business because that's really important because we already
Yeah.
have staff on hand during the middle of the week and
And weekday travel, this is where this comes into
small
big.
conventions.
Small conventions, expos, wedding expo, all this kind of stuff that we really want to bring here. This gives us the ability to go hang out a little carrot and say, hey, and hopefully they
How
come.
much were you going to earmark for this in the budget?
We don't have that yet. We actually, because it's not been approved, we decided to take it all out of the budget. So
Yeah.
there's zero money there now. But as soon as you guys are ready to approve this and we get it approved, we'll figure out how much money to put in there. So we have some money in marketing support that we could move, so.
How's it going to change what we've traditionally done? Because we have a lot of nonprofits who kind of depend on us. Do we need to consider them as we're moving into a different program? Because, I'm not, particularly with COVID, having canceled so many of their events, some of which are really wonderful events. I'm a little concerned that we need to think about them as well, bring them along with us for a while. But most grant organizations will support an organization, say, for 3 years, sometimes a little more, but they kind of expect that organization to stand on its own 2 feet after that time. So some people who come and ask us for money just sort of put it as a line item in the budget.
Yep.
If they really were thoughtful about it, they might be able to figure out how to fund themselves, and that would let us help new people who want to come and use the city. So I think we should be mindful of that, and we have some extra money this year, so we maybe could take care of both groups.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah, okay. And so we talked about at our last meeting about the auditorium updates, and we talked about doing an actual walkthrough. So we're gonna, do we have any media here? We don't have any of the media here, right? Okay, so
No.
we're gonna walk through, and if you guys don't know, the elevator's going in. So that's in progress. So it's pretty dirty and dusty, so watch your step down there and be careful.
Yeah.
Because it is a construction zone, but the elevator's going in.
And the purpose of the elevator is so that we can utilize that room, amazing basement that we have here. It'll be easier for people to get into it. We're going to be fixing the stairs. We've been doing a lot of work around the building to make it safer, less leaky. And really a big thing is safety. We're putting a new lift in that goes in probably this month, because the one we have crashes a lot, and that's difficult. It's impossible for handicapped people. So the elevator is really huge. All the money that we're spending is really so that we can attract more business, so this building will pay for itself, at least, maybe make us some money.
Well, yeah, if you've got a space up here, you need breakout rooms, and that would give us a chance to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think too, one of the things that we've talked about in the past, just to kind of update you guys, is that when we have concerts in here and it is full, right, it gives a percentage of those people the ability to be in the basement buying concessions and still seeing the concert on the screen, and it kind of gives us a little bit more elbow room up here. We got concerned last year a lot, rightfully so, that putting 980 people in here is a pretty tight space for COVID. So we know that there will be 10 or 15% or maybe even more at different times in the basement enjoying that, so it eliminates kind of the crampedness in here. So anyway, we can go do a walk around and come back and close the meeting.
It's really good to see you. I haven't seen you for like months.
Well, I haven't been here for a couple of months.
Okay, we're here. Okay.
It's the group.
So just to summarize, we did a walkthrough, we identified kind of maybe a wish list, definite gotta-have list, and a wish list. We're gonna get some bids and some quotes. Madison's gonna head that up for us. That's all that I have on the agenda. I do want to give you guys just an update. We are still working with Rock Hill Studios to bring in a film production this spring. And that's going to be a really nice influx of business into town. It's a film series, so it's 7 episodes, all filmed in Eureka Springs. Over $1 million spent in our economy. That's hundreds of rooms. I mean, literally 100 rooms a night for 2 months. It's catering opportunities. It's, somebody's got to feed these people. They're going to be looking for food. We're working, the city's been very gracious. Butch and his office have worked very hard to make sure that we've got everything in order to bring them here, because I think the city gets it. This is a very good opportunity for commerce. It's difficult for us to go out and get people to want to move in and put manufacturing here when we have unique roads, amazing roads. And this is a good way for everyone worldwide to see us on a major streaming platform. And so it's a really good opportunity. And that's one of the reasons why the new bid program is going to be great, because they're going to show up and they're going to say, we need 60 to 120 rooms a night. We need to feed people twice a day, 60 to 120 people a day. And that bid program will go out to everyone. It's just going to be really a great opportunity. So I appreciate Rock Hill Studios and everyone. Madison's been involved, and so far everything's coming together. So
Fantastic.
yes.
And are they a company that's likely to do other things here after this series?
Yeah. Rock Hill is a company that they love Eureka. I spent all day with them yesterday, and we looked at houses, and we went around town, we looked at locations, we ate at different restaurants just to see, and we just had a good time with them. Their goal is to be able to bring more productions to Eureka. But to be honest with you, the reason why whoever haven't really come to here before is because we can't really park an additional 120 people downtown. We have to work very hard on our end for transportation. So that's where we're working with the city to hopefully bring this together so that we can shuttle them around town, privately, publicly, whatever it works out, so that it makes it work for them. So just be looking for that, and I'll be giving you updates as we get them. But it's a really good opportunity for Eureka.
Thank you
Yeah.
for all your,
And they're
and
using
your hard work, very hard work.
this is their film is set in Colorado, and so we are officially a Colorado look-alike town. So that's how they
I love it.
that's how they come to us. So
Yeah, about 15 years ago, well, maybe longer than that, we were up against Asheville, North Carolina for the movie Crystal, Billy Bob Thornton, and the city put in, I think CAPC put in like 35 grand. We got all the restaurants to discount 50% to staff and crew, and
yep,
we managed to beat out Asheville to get that movie here.
yeah,
Great.
it's great because they are definitely looking to hire local talent. So we do have people here that have worked in the film industry before. We're already reaching out to them, saying, hey, are you interested? So they want to hire local people, local extras, so as many local people as they can hire, they will, before they just have to bring in people. So, So far everything is great and everything's on point. I'm just going to keep working with them to get them here, get it going. So
Fantastic.
you can all be extras.
Read all about it.
Okay,
All
that
right.
concludes our meeting for
Workshop.
tonight. We'll see you guys on
The 26th.
the 26th at
At-
6 o'clock.
Are we doing a workshop? No workshop?
No workshop.
Just a meeting, 6 o'clock.
All right.
Thank you.